So it's that seems to be what was more healing, is the fact that I was finally heard. That has been one of my biggest issues, is I'm not being listened to. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody's giving me any value. And I mean, there is a lot of people that are belonging to my channel, but um, it's like if you're being raped. I've said no, but no meant nothing. I got raped anyways. You know, I get people trying to tell me who I am, and it's like, no, that's who you think I am, but you ain't seeing who I am. You've got your opinions, but you're seeing through your own freaking eyes, and you ain't seeing me. Um, it's just really, really odd that we will all shine when we all hear each other. We all support each other from the very deep of our souls. Not look through your eyes to see what's there, but understand each other from their point of view, from their perspective. You know, it's like walk a mile in somebody else's shoes to try and understand who they are, instead of walk a mile in your shoes and judge who they are. Like, it's really, really hard to explain. Um, and I take onus on that I'm not perfect at explaining any of this stuff. But it really is cool to have this conversation in a radio show with Dave. It's going to be really interesting because um, all of this stuff comes up perfectly in a conversation. And it's like, man, I wish this was on recorded, because it would blow so many people away. It blew me away. I'm sure it blew Dave away. And it is a learning process. It's like we know what the game is now. We know what the rules are. Now it's time for us to play the game the way the game is supposed to be played and get good at it. So, you know, you've just had a set of rules to play life with. And now you're seeing that the rules that created the life that we're experiencing now didn't quite work. We need some new rules. So that's basically all this is. It's like we're designing some new rules to live and create life with. And we can sit around and say who's right and who's wrong, you know, and that's the 1,000-year debate. It's all about, okay, forget about all of the crap in the past, because it really doesn't mean anything. Nobody had any answers in the past, so it's like, why would you even want to study any history? It's only some rich guy that decided to put his perspective down when there were billions of other perspectives that never ever get written, so you'll never know the full truth. You're only knowing the truth of a few handful of people that happen to be wealthy, because only wealthy people can have stuff published. So you're not really getting the truth out of anything in history. So, and yeah, a lot of things were wrong. A lot of pain is going on. But it's like, do you want to live in all that pain, or do you want to live in heaven? Do you want to live in love and life? You know, you have to decide what would make you happy in the future. And what are the rules to create that future? So that's kind of more of what we're looking at. And it cannot be one leader. Leaders are out. I don't want to be a leader. I hated leaders because I listened to them all. You know, all of these professional self-help leaders that claim to know how to be happy, yet look at the world. They didn't give me any answers. Look at all of these leaders that are doctors. Look at all of these politicians. You may name it. What kind of leader is out there that actually knows what the hell they're doing in this global collapse that we're seeing? I ain't seeing anybody come up saying, here's the answer we need to follow. You know, like, even Oprah, look at how screwed up she is. She ain't leading nobody down no path. Nobody is leading down anybody down any right good path. But it does appear to be like a flock of birds, where you see one bird is at the head and guiding all of the flock of birds in a direction. But it's never that one bird that is the leader. one takes a turn and then it falls back and another one replaces it. And that's kind of what we've got to do is, the whole flock of birds gives all of the support and energy to that one that's guiding them. And you can only take that for so long, and you need to replace that, and everybody gets a turn. Everybody on the planet gets a turn at being lifted by the whole flock to be the best that they could be. It's not about criticizing this person. It's about building that person up to be that leader that you want them to be, which means every one of us are totally unique. Every one of us has something amazing to offer. And we need to get yourself out of yourself and find out what's so perfect about them. Charlie Sheen, as much as he's got, major problems, he's got some genius in there that we need to build him up to be the genius, but not build him up so much that his ego's so detached that he doesn't know how to build other people up. I think right now, building Charlie to build good people up is probably more beneficial to him, but he needs to be listening to something more productive within himself, just like we all need to listen to ourselves first. You have to actually know yourself first to know what it is to ask for. Otherwise, how do you expect anybody to give you what it is you need if you're not good at asking for what it is you do need? Which is what I've been doing. I've been asking for what I need. Few people have been able to hear it except for Dave. Dave ended up hearing what it is that I needed. I don't think Dave was quite aware that he was asking for what it is he needed. Very few of us can't hear that. I've said it before that I'm kind of talented in seeing what people want. And the way you can tell is through their life experiences. Every one of your life experiences has meaning. And Dave's story is one of the most abusive stories that it'll break your heart to hear his life story of what he had to go through. And it's extremely painful. And his other siblings are on drugs, and he doesn't even know if they're alive yet. They're dying from the pain that their life experience was so freaking painful that they're now drug addicts, which is what addiction is. But Dave did not get involved in any type of addiction, which means he's been dealing with this pain and healing himself without any painkillers. Huge, massive potential there to be able to deal with that level of pain and focus on the solution. When he did come to my channel, it was like he was ready to die. He wanted to kill himself. He couldn't see any purpose in life. And it's like, no, you've got massive purpose. That is kind of what I read, is life had no meaning if he had no purpose. So that's kind of the only thing that he needed to heal, is I heard him say is he needed to find his purpose. And I could see his purpose. He's supposed to do something with everything that was done to him. It is about love. He will be able to answer better what it is that I seen in him. But he's the one that told me whatever he needed. When people are complaining, they also know the solution to their complaints. You cannot tell what's wrong about something without knowing what's right. So even though we may be focused 100% on complaining about something, every time you make a complaint, you also, without knowing, are saying what it should be. And it's just a matter of being guided into just paying more attention into what it should be over what you see of everything that's wrong. So I think that in whatever way, Dave will explain it himself, he was able to find out his purpose. And then he started getting into this meditation. And part of the wildest thing is that cyclone that was about to hit Australia, he started meditating on that cyclone, which was predicted to kill a lot of people and do an awful lot of destruction. It was predicted to be worse than Katrina. But what he did is he visualized and meditated with a hell of a lot of love on that cyclone and just sort of like picked it up with his hands and moved it into a different path, and not one person died. So, this is something that a lot of people may not believe is possible, but it is. We, like humans, act like HAARP in more ways than you can imagine. If we tapped into our human potential, this evil entity, these evil forces, these alien stories, everything that you want to believe out there that feels that is so powerless, it has zero power over you. But we need to learn this shit. We need to learn how can you actually move a cyclone with your mind. And it is possible. So that's one thing that the next step was, okay, Dave, if this is true, if in fact you did move that cyclone, then what you need to do is repeat that. You need to try that test out again and have an intention, and then see if you can always follow through. If this works 100%, then you know of your own power. Otherwise, it's just a coincidence. And he has been practicing and is working all the time. For him to do what he's doing about my smoking, there's no way. I was not about to fight this addiction. If this addiction wanted me to have a smoke, I was going to have a smoke. I knew what I needed, and I knew my heart needed to be healed. And I knew that I needed help from somebody else that could listen to me and actually go into my heart and heal my heart. And Dave has healed it from the distance, from across the planet. My heart has been so healed that I do not want another smoke. There's just no urge. It's completely gone. So you be the judge. And now when you start doing this, what ends up happening is the universe is now going to test you. So that's another thing that Dave's got to be prepared for it, and kind of why I'm leery about putting it public until you gain that strength. Is the next stage is people will say, oh yeah, show me, and then they put a lot of negative energy towards him to see if he can transform that negative energy. So it's like, don't be fooled into putting out any negative energy. You want to build that bird that's guiding you down a better path. And know without a doubt that when you build that one leader that has that much power, he has to drop down and build you. That's his job, is to build you. So don't crush somebody that has the power to build you. And that's what we all are, is we've been crushing each other down and not realizing that the more you build another person up, that person will be building you up. It's like a karma. Wildest story. So then all of a sudden I got, money got attracted into my life, and it's like, what do I want to do with this money? It's not enough to do a hell of a lot. Wanted to do a camera and do some interviews, but not sure that I can face some of these really, really wealthy people here. This is extreme wealth. These are people that teenage kids are driving Ferraris. Why, and they own all of the orchards, that they get people that are homeless basically to pick the fruit, and they pay them next to nothing to pick the fruit. So there's no equal wage. There never has been an equal wage in this area, and there's a lot of these wealthy people that I would love to get a camera and ask some of these wealthy people some questions, but it would really, really hurt my heart. So I'm kind of like, when the universe wants to hear those interviews, they will provide me with the camera. And I don't think I've got enough money for that camera anyways. So I'm still looking at these meditation stones. Still looking at doing a little bit within my own house. But I'm open to the universe supporting me in whatever way the universe needs to. I mean, if the universe is out there listening to all of the other bigger things, this bottled water shit has the potential to transform a whole entire planet very, very fast. But the planet has to want it. So there's some updates. Look forward to a very interesting radio station if Dave follows through on this.